Topic sentence. Everything Everywhere All at Once stood out to me because not only does it blend genres not seen portrayed often by Asian Americans in the mainstream film and media industry, but it's able to capture some realities of immigrant life and family expectations. Argument and analysis. From all the media and films I've watched throughout the course, the one that made an impact on me the most is Everything Everywhere All at Once. What makes this film so intriguing is how it's able to blend together multiple genres into one movie while still making it work. There's martial arts, comedy, science fiction, and romance. These genres aren't common in mainstream media or film for Asian Americans to be playing or directing. This is a groundbreaking film that is only possible because of films that have come before it laying the groundwork for a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once to be made the right way without limitations. Asian Americans were long excluded from being able to branch out into different genres in films and were confined to specific roles in Hollywood and media in general. But over time, films created by Asian filmmakers and actors were able to break through these set boundaries and succeed in the film industry. Films like The Joy Luck Club and Better Luck Tomorrow set precedent for Asian Americans to have diverse roles and not just be typecast or only portrayed as the stereotypes that were given to Asians. The way Everything Everywhere All at Once is able to blend so many genres seamlessly is an example of how far Asian American filmmakers have come due to no longer being restricted to certain storytelling or specific genres. Everything Everywhere All at Once is about the Asian American identity and the struggles Asian American immigrants go through. What works in this film is how it portrays all of this in a cinematic way that makes audiences be able to understand the harsh reality of a lot of Asian American immigrants. Evelyn Wang is the main character of the film, and she faces a lot of struggles. She is at a point in life where she feels like she has failed and is exhausted. This shows the reality of many first-generation Asian American immigrants who work their whole life and make sacrifices just to survive in a world as an immigrant. Being an immigrant has shaped Evelyn's life by making her just be a hollow shell of who she actually is. She's just working and exhausted and emotionally detaching herself from everything around her. The film is able to brilliantly visualize immigration by using the multiverse as the visual representation of Evelyn dealing with being an immigrant. She gets put into different universes where she is successful in many different ways, being drastically different from what her actual reality is. The way I viewed it is showing the way the American dream is in a way, and the dreams and aspirations of first generation Asian American immigrants have and like what they want to achieve. But what makes this so compelling is how it's able to cinematically represent the way many immigrants may think, like, what if I never migrated, or what if I didn't have to sacrifice to pursue my dreams, pursue my dreams instead. All these questions and what ifs represent the sacrifice Asian American immigrants have to do in order to just have an ordinary life. They sacrifice the potential dreams and goals they have. The feeling of chasing something that seems like it will never be possible is a harsh reality many immigrants face, or Asian American immigrants face. However, the film makes these alternate realities where everyone is successful or achieving her dreams feel like not really fully fulfilled. There's something off about them. The daughter of Evelyn, Joy Wang, shows how immigrant parenting can be shaped by expectations in society and a sense of unbelonging. Due to this sense of unbelonging, Joy feels a heavy burden of expectation and doesn't feel seen by society or her family. Jobu Tupaki is the villain that possesses Joy and believes that everything in life is meaningless and reflects how Joy feels as a second-generation Asian immigrant. This pairing against Evelyn and Joy is a glimpse of how the parental love in Asian American culture is more providing rather than affirmation, which can create a large gap between parent and child that can damage relationships. Joy has this need to disappear into the everything bagel when she's possessed by Jobu, which is the void of nothingness, and it resembles Joy's desire to escape from the pressure and expectations she faces. The film explores the generational trauma in a way that blurs the lines between who's to blame. It isn't a simple villain. It shows a cycle where the audience understands and sees how Evelyn's father makes her feel dismissed and unseen, but then she does the same to her daughter Joy, repeating this cycle of generational trauma. This depicts how the trauma is passed down rather than resolved. My personal favorite character of the film is Wayman Wang, the husband of Evelyn and father to Joy. He is the much needed counter to Evelyn and Joy's negative and like hopeless outlooks in life. And although Wayman challenges the Asian American masculinity expectations, he is kind and emotionally open, which is a way to deal with the chaos surrounding his life as an Asian immigrant. Instead, Wayman is able to go through this life with empathy. The scene where an alternate successful version of Wayman says, "In another life, I would have really liked just doing laundry and taxes with you," and that's the quote, to Evelyn, is an example of Wayman being able to finally get through to Evelyn. Wayman's way of going about life is finally realized and shared in that moment with Evelyn, where she finally sees her husband and realizes her reality is what she wants. And all those other alternate lives, yeah, she's successful in achieving her goals, but her life doesn't really feel full because in those lives she doesn't have Wayman. It ties back to how in the beginning the immigrant lifestyle seemed depressing and bleak, but now finding meaning in that way of life. Wayman saying that shows how meaning is found in not escaping the struggles, but who you go through them with. This is a direct contrast to the Asian American immigrant identity shaped by endurance instead of desires, where love is more often an expression of shared responsibilities instead of affirmation instead. By being able to symbolize taxes and laundry as this act of love and devotion, it puts aside the narratives that correlate success with social climbing or economic values, and instead places importance on the value of an ordinary immigrant life. This moment is a shift of Evelyn towards empathy, showing how the shared sacrifice can be the start of healing in Asian American families. And my personal experience relating to this paper is a couple years back, I also felt like a distance between me and my family, parents, and I didn't know like what to do about it or anything, and I thought it was like weird to talk to my parents about it. Like I thought they would think it's weird, and it doesn't. My family's like Hispanic culture, it's kind of weird to like talk about emotions or stuff like that. It's not like traditional or normal. But then I did, and now years later, I'm more closer with my family, and I'm glad that I did. And it's kind of the same lesson in this movie, which is why I liked the movie and resonated with it. And that was my personal experience. In conclusion, representation is an area where everything, everywhere, all at once is able to set itself apart from other films in today's media. Asian characters aren't usually able to be flawed or unconventional in the mainstream film industry and media. However, the characters Evelyn, Wayman, and Joy break through these limitations by Evelyn being emotionally detached, Wayman being vulnerable, untraditional version of Asian American masculinity, and Joy being angry and thinking everything is meaningless. These characters challenge the stereotypes Asian Americans face in cinema, and instead present these characters as real human beings that many people can relate to. And that's the conclusion. Thank you.